Object Oriented Programming Lab, experiment number 7. So, first off, okay, in this experiment, we are actually asked to implement two questions. One, I actually got the second question. Two, just a minute. Okay. For me, I got the second question and the fourth question. So the fourth question was this. Uh, for the fourth question, we are actually asked to make a we are actually asked to make a library system uh, using packages. So first was they asked us to make a package called store and a class called book with the following features. So in this class, I have a title, I have author, I have quantity and price, and I have a constructor initializing all these. Okay. This is a class called book, and it will be stored in the package called store. So I would, after making this class, I would just make the package by running this command. So if you see here, inside store, we have book class. This is the package. And then we are asked to make a package called user with two classes. First class is admin class. So this should be stored in package user. And this admin class, the first method they ask us to implement an add book method. So to add book, okay, I have imported the store class. In the store, if you remember, we have the book class. This is the base. So I've imported this and I have made this method. First, I just initialize the scanner object and I ask the and I initialize these variables and I ask the user for title and take title as an input. Then I'll use for author, take author as an input, then quantity, then finally the price. And I made a new book and I call the book constructor. If you see this constructor with the following as the arguments, and then I return this new book. Okay. Uh, Later we'll see uh, about how we use this. This is actually a function for the admin user to add books. So after making this, we will just do admin.java to make the respective admin class. Okay. For your reference, I'll just delete this entire thing so that I could show you how everything works like this. Let's delete this. First was I added this as a package inside the package store. So if you see here, package store was made and this book class was added. Then I need to add admin under the package user. So if you see here, after the record executed, a package user was made and admin dot class was added. Next was normal user. This was functions for the admin user. This is for normal user. So for normal user, according to the question, we had two methods, search book and borrow book. Search book had three arguments. So first one was the book name to search, and then the array object of books. Okay, so they actually asked us to make an array of books, uh, like array of object books, to store all the books that we made. So I'll be searching this inside like in each of these book objects, and then I have total books. Okay, so I iterate through all the elements of this array of object book. Then for each, then I just check if the current book object title is equal to the search book name. If that's the case, I return this index. Otherwise, I return -1. Same thing, borrow book, but here I'll have borrow book name, same arguments. Here I'll be using the search book to find the search index. If the search index was -1, it will return -1 when there are it will return -1 when it will return -1 when that particular book is not found. So if search index is double equal to -1, I just say the book you want to borrow is not present in the library. Otherwise, else I have these two conditions. Else, if that I access that object, that book object, if that quantity of that book object is less than equal to 0, then I say sorry, this book has already been taken by someone else. Otherwise, I just decrement the quantity and I print. Uh, I just decrement the quantity of the book user want to borrow, and then I print this message: you have successfully borrowed the book and the title of the book I wanted to borrow. This is done. So I will add this to the package as users. So this was normal user. Okay. If you see here, it had been added, user was added. Then there is one thing called main class, and I have one more thing called a command class. Okay, they asked us to make a main class uh, which has a menu driven option. Okay, so and it acts like a library management system. So what I did was, instead of having everything in the main class, I also made a command class to make like all the uh, operations, all the commands I can give here, and I've also added the array of book objects as a static variable so that I could access that for any instance of the object. So here, first I'll explain the main, then I'll go to commands. So uh, according to the question, there should be a main class which should be under the package app. Okay, so I've imported store and user. Store had admin and other one, and I've also imported users because I would be accessing. But for this, I wouldn't be accessing store and users. But initially, okay, for this is actually not needed. Yeah, for this I don't need to import that, but in the question that was given, you should import it. Like even though I made one side thing for importing everything and performing the option, so as it was given in the question, I used this. So other than that, I imported utility for scanner and other operations, and then I have app.commands. So I'm gonna use I have all the commands that I need to execute in this class called command. So it will also be in the app folder, so I import that. And then here I make a scanner object, I initialize choice, and I have this pin code. For admin users, there is a pin code to uh, this is to avoid others from using the admin privileges. So I have this pin code, and I have this temp for storing temp values. Then I just print this menu, and I get the choice from the user. After that, I make an object of commands and I store it in the variable C. As I told you, all the operations that we need to do are in this commands folder. Uh, in this commands class. So for that I made this object. Then while choice is not equal to 3, until choice is double equal to 3, this will run. If the user gives 3, that means exit. Inside that we have a switch case class. Switch case statement. If the choice was 1, admin user, and if that's the case, it asks them to enter the pin code. If the entered pin code is not the actual pin code for admin, then there is this error message printed, sorry, wrong pin code given, returning to main username. Otherwise, inside this command class, I have this method called admin options that will show the menus in admin and all rest of it. Okay, so this is it. If the user gives 2, that means I'll just directly call the guest options method in the command class. Okay. Otherwise, if the user enters anything other than 123, this error message is printed. Then again, I after all the operations are done, again I print the menu, and 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 I get the choice from the user. If the choice is not equal to 3, again the same thing will go. Otherwise, it will exit, and the program will end. Now I will go on to the commands class. After make adding this into the package, and then I'll add this. So in this command, I imported store and users, and I also imported Java utility library, and I have it under the package app. So this is a class. I initialize scanner object. I have a choice variable, and this is to store the ob- uh, uh, this is the array of object books to store uh, different books and access them. So for that, I made it static so that so that so that this will be common for all objects of command. And I also made quantity as I is equal to 0. Quantity refers to the total number of books present. This will be easy to iterate to the array of objects. It's like in the length of an array. So I also made a static, and then I made an object admin. If you remember this admin class, I made an object called admin. Uh, I I made an admin object and I stored it in the variable admin user. And similarly, I made a user object and I stored it in G user, guest user. So, and I have two temporary variables to get string temp input and int temp input. So first thing was add books. Before going here, I'll explain admin options and guest options. So if the user in this gave admin case 1, then admin options this will be called. So it print welcome to admin user, choose one of the options. Here if the user gives 3, will log out, otherwise will go. If the user gives 3, the control will go out of this while loop, otherwise it will be inside the while loop. So case 1 was add books, and I made a function called add books to add the books. Case 2 was view books. I made a method called view books to view the books. Then default, like if in case you user enters anything other than 123 for that, then I again print the menu. Then here for guest users. So in the main function, if the user gave option 2, then this method will be called guest option. This is similar to the admin thing. Only thing is this has extra functions and certain functions are different. So same thing. So based on the option the user selects, I have a method for each of it. Same thing. So I'll explain other methods. So add book is to add a new book. So it will actually come under admin privileges. So what I do is I just uh, like admin use this admin class as this method called add books. So what I do is I just call like this method, and the value returned I just store it in the uh, list books of quantity. Uh, quantity is a quantity is a it's like n, like last element of an array, last updated element of an array, and I use plus plus. so that after it assigns, it increments the value of quantity. And then I get book added successfully. This is for adding books. Borrow books, I just ask the user what book they want to borrow, and then I get the input, and then I call the method borrow books. And here I pass the name of the book the user want to borrow. View book, I just okay. This method is a helper method for this. Okay, so in search books, I just ask the user what book they want to search and store it in temp, and then later I just call this search book uh, method of the user class to get the index of the book the user entered. If that index was -1, then if that index was -1, that means that book is not present. So I print that message. Otherwise, what I do is print the I just print this message and I call this helper function. In this helper function, I have this argument called index, which is this index of the searched variable, uh, and then I print the details of the book here. Then last one, I guess, new book. So in this, I check if the quantity is double equal to 0. That means there are no books present in the uh, list of book variables. In that case, I just print there are no books in the library. Otherwise, I iterate through the first to the quantity -1 index, and and I and and I print the title of the books. That is it. So that's all for this. I just add this into the package app. So this was commands. So this got added. Then finally adding main also. I told you I'll add main. Just a minute. I told you I'll add main after adding commands. So main. So main also added. Now I'll run the main package. So main. Okay. See, as you can see before that, just clear the time. As you can see here, is asking welcome, please social login account. First search is admin account, enter the pin code. If you remember, the pin code was 3455. So welcome admin user, choose one option. First I'll add some books. Say I want to add mm, uh, Discovery of India, author Nehru. Quantity, say I have two quantity books. Price is 500. Okay. Now let's view the books. Added Discovery of India by Nehru. Okay. Let's add some more books. Say I want to add a book called mm, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Author Mr. X. Number of quantity 1. Price is 300. Say I want to add one more book. Uh, mm, some books say Imaginary Index. Uh, Rahul. Say the price was 600. Oh, quantity 600. Sorry, by mistake I did quantity 600. Price is 6,000. So now let's view the book. Okay, these are the books. Now log out. I will log into the normal user account. Now if I wanna view a book, if I give view book, it will print all the books. Okay. And say I wanna search a book. Search a book. Say I wanna search Discovery of Wind. If a book called Discovery is there, No, this book is not present. See on a search, Discovery of India. Of India. Yeah. Okay, this book is not present. I think I didn't write the exact. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. I need to do it again. Uh, 3455. Just add a book. Discovery. Nehru. 10. 500. Imaginary. Uh, Martin. 1. 600. Okay, now log out. Just use a search a book. Imaginary. I'll search for the book. Imaginary. Yeah, the book you're searching is present. It's printing the details of the book. So say I want to borrow a book. I want to borrow the book Imaginary. Okay, it's showing you have successfully borrowed. Say I'll borrow the book again. Now it says, sorry, this book has already been taken by someone else. As the total number of quantity was only one. I already borrowed here, so this HK is also works. Then that's it. So I just log out, and to exit, I just give three. So these are the options. So this is the first one, and now I'll just go to the other question I was given. So package, yeah. So the other question was, okay. So for this, we had to make uh, a package called mathematics with basic operations and trigonometric operations, and with two classes, basic operation and trigonometric operation. First, I'll delete all this so that I could show you exactly how things work. So first one was basic operation. I I I need to add this class in the package mathematics. So I had four basic operation: addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. I had two arguments for both, and I return the respective answer. So first things first, I need to make this package basic OP. So as you can see, is added in the package mathematics. And then I have one more class called trigonometric OP operations, and this also should be added in mathematics package. So here I have three methods: sine, cos, and tan. So I get a double value as the input, and I return the uh, sign of the value. There's this function in mathematics which calculates sine. So I just return the respective value for all three. So this also need to add it in the mathematic package, trigonometric OP. So done. So this was there. Third one was I have one more package called testing. Okay. In that I have this class called test. Okay. This class will have two methods: perform basic and perform trigonometry. I have one more program called run program, which is the main program. Based on the option the user gives, it calls these methods. So here, if you see, perform basic means uh, it will make an object. If you remember mathematics basic OP, first I import this package, and then I make an object of this class, and I store it in a variable called basic math, and then I initialize scanner object, and I print the option to the user. So here I get two arguments A and B on which the operation should be performed. So based on user's choice, we have a switch case statement. It will call the respective function in the we'll call a respective method in the basic math and it'll print the result. First one is addition, so we'll call add method in the basic math and we'll print the result. Like this, all like same like the basic, uh, similar to this function. This function also works the same thing. Only difference would be in input argument will be a double variable called radians, and it will initialize an object of the trigonometric OP class, and it stores a trig math variable. As the user for a choice, based on the choice, we call the respective method and print the result. That's that. Then last, run program. Here, I what I do is I import this pack. Okay, first thing I just make this package testing. Oh, what is this test? Okay, test. Okay. In a package called testing, this test class has been made, and then I import this test class, and I have this. This is actually my main program that I call this test functions methods. First, I initialize scanner object, then I print the menu for the user. Either they can choose basic operation or trigonometric operation. Otherwise, they can choose exit three. Three choices are there, and I input the choice, and then I make an object of the test class, and I store it in the variable n, and then I initialize two variables a and b, and a variable radians for further use. Then if until the user gives 3, the control will remain in the while loop. Inside the while loop, I have a switch case statement. First case is basic operation. So for basic operation, I ask the user two integers to perform the operation on. Input those two integers, and I call the perform basic method of this test class. So n is an object, end of perform basic. Same way for case 2 for these functions, I just as a user for the respective radians or the degree. So I input that, and then I call the perform trig method. If the user enters any other thing other than 1, 2, 3, this will be printed. And again, I print the menu to the user and get the choice. Until the user enters 3, this will be executing. Now I'll just run this function. So run program, compile this, and then run it. So now if you see, it asks which operation you want to perform. I just want to perform, I say I want to perform basic operation 10 and 3. Now I want to know the addition. And then same, I want to perform basic 10 and 9. I want to know the division. So 10 and 9, division was 1. Then I want to perform again a basic operation 18 and 3. I want to know the multiplication 54. Then I want to perform a trigonometry operation. I'll give 89.33. So I want to know the sine. Same, I'll again perform trigonometric operation 70. 0.4. I want to know the cos of this. Then again, I tell language of operation. 90.9. I want to know the tan of this. So it gives the respective values here. If I want to exit, I get 3. So that's all for this program. Thank you.